Welcome back. We're here with another episode of Off the Clock with your attorneys. I'm Warren Duffy, and today we've got Billy Demas in the hot seat, who's going to be answering some questions. So, Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey guys, I gotta tell you, Warren has forced me to do this. I didn't want to come sit in this seat, but I guess it's my turn. My name is Bill Demas. I have been here in Pinellas County since I was 2 years old. Grew up around here, and I am the disability attorney at Herman Wells.
So we know you grew up around here. So you're a Pinellas County local and native.
Yep.
All right. Where did you go to high school?
Dunedin High School.
And how about college?
I went to my undergrad at Florida State.
Okay. And then law school?
Stetson, right here in Pinellas County.
So you really are homegrown local, went away for a little bit for undergrad, but then came right back to Pinellas County, and this is where you've been practicing for how long now?
In August, this is filmed in 2024. In August of 2024, it will be 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm old.
That's quite a stint. Now, most of us here at Herman Wells have kind of a varied background. We've done a lot of different jobs kind of before we got here. What's your work history look like? What did you do before this?
Well, the reason that we were in Pinellas County so long is that my dad had several restaurants here. One of them being in Indian Rocks Beach. He had it for about 30 years. There was a restaurant called Adam's Rib, and it was a pretty big place, had about 280 people. So when you grow up in the restaurant business, your life is the restaurant, for those that know in the business. So I grew up from 4 years old, working every facet of the restaurant. And so that primarily was my job, because I was helping support my family by working at the restaurant, from either cooking to repairs, things like that. Had odd jobs, summer jobs, working at an ice cream shop or stuff like that. But most of my work has been in the hospitality industry. I was hired by a company between college and law school to fly around and open up restaurant chains, which was really fun. I did that for a while. And then went to law school, and right out of law school, just went to work as a lawyer.
So how did those jobs, those early jobs, restaurant industry, traveling, opening restaurants, how did that help you? How does that help you become a better attorney?
Well, because I think in any type of retail food service industry, you gotta learn how to deal with people. And you gotta learn that there is no cookie cutter, right? So, people come in and they're not upset at you. They might have just gotten in a fight with their spouse, or their kid has been misbehaving in the car, and they come in and you're the first person they see. And it teaches you empathy and patience and how to smile and go through it, because you don't know what happened with that person. And you can't be rude to that person, because that person is a human being and you don't want to add to their bad day. And a lot of times, as attorneys, Warren, you know this, we get people sometimes at their worst.
Yep.
Their roof has a hole in it. They just got in a bad car accident. I do disability litigation. They can't work anymore in their lives. So we catch them at their lows. And if you don't have empathy and compassion, and you don't have a measured response, you're adding to their problem. You can't be their advocate. So in doing that and being in this industry, it's really taught me how to deal with a lot of different type of people, because you have a lot of different type of people coming into the restaurant. They could be a millionaire, or they could be the guy that just is living paycheck to paycheck, that just wants to have a beer and a plate of chicken wings. And you got to be able to talk to all those people. And that was a great thing about the restaurant, is because my parents taught me how to talk to everybody. I had to learn to do that from a young age. They would go on vacation, and they would leave me and my sisters to run this restaurant, and they'd be gone for a month, going back to Greece, and I'm 16, 17 years old running this restaurant. So I love that I had that in my life.
So, kind of a similar question, but what other types of life lessons have you learned from these jobs and being an attorney?
The life lesson I got is that you can never judge a book by its cover. I have a story of a guy that came into the restaurant every Tuesday, him and his wife. Sat at a table, we had early bird specials back then. Early bird specials, and it was the same thing. And I always thought to myself, being a high schooler, not really knowing it, I judged these people,
Yep.
their money, their worth, or whatever, until they invited my family to come to one of their Christmas parties to find out that he was some big time doctor living on one of those huge hills on Bel Air Bluff, overlooking more money than God. But he just drove an 84 Toyota Corolla. It was beat up, right? Nothing fancy, no Mercedes. That was just what it is. So that was the biggest life lesson, is somebody comes to me, I don't make preconceived assumptions about them, because you can't.
Work history. What was your first job as an attorney?
It was with a law firm in St. Pete that's still there. The name has changed. It used to be Fox Grove Abbey Adams. Then when I was there, they broke away from Fox and Grove, and it was Abbey Adams, Bialik, Mueller, and Lancaster. So I was doing insurance defense work and dealing with workers' comp and disability issues. And I was there for almost 10 years.
What type of law do you do now?
So the type of law I do now is disability litigation. So if it has anything to do with, when I say disability litigation, it's really insurance litigation. If it has anything to do with insurance, whether it be life insurance, accidental death or dismemberment, disability insurance, things like that, that's what I do. I tell people, quite frankly, is that you know when to call me is when you have when you have an insurance issue and you're not getting a benefit from your insurance company. Because I also do a little bit of personal injury. I also do homeowners insurance. Now, people like Warren, they do a majority of that. But you can always call me because I've done it and I have the experience on it. Even if your policy, your insurance policy is through work, that's governed by a law called ERISA, ERISA. And not many people do it. I think there's probably less than 10 of us in the state that do it. Because it's really a technical, difficult area of law to practice, but I've made my niche in doing it. So if you have a disability policy through work, long or short term, an accidental death and dismemberment is called AD&D, a life insurance policy, anything like that through work, I do it. If you have that same thing through somebody that you buy your car insurance through, so that's called a private policy, I do that also.
And that kind of answers the question who your typical client is. Anything more you want to add to that as far as who your typical client is?
No, I really don't have a typical client because, again, I've represented people that have had disability policies or in front of Social Security disability. I've, hired people that were just your everyday blue-collar working class person, the bartender, the construction worker, the waitress, the school teacher. I've represented them, and on the other side of it, I've represented the chief of pediatric surgery for local hospitals here. So it's a varying thing. I can tell you my biggest compliment I get is when attorneys that work for Prudential, State Farm, Nationwide, these insurance companies that write these policies that I go after, become disabled, and then they hire me. And I've had that happen 3 times to where an attorney, it was for Nationwide, an attorney for Nationwide became disabled, and Nationwide disability insurance denied them. And they had to sue their boss, their company that they spent the last 10 years defending. So I think that's the biggest compliment is when they come to me.
I do like those when opposing counsel refers business to you.
Yes,
it's just a nice compliment.
Right, and you see it in your in the home insurance.
Yep.
And the homeowners insurance, when something happens at their house or their neighbor's house, they're telling them to call you.
Yep. And that is just a nice compliment. You just feel good about what you do.
Yes.
So how long have you been with Herman Wells now?
A little over a year.
And you've been doing law for 26 years.
Right.
So you've had a very background, number of different firms, not a number, but a couple different firms. What is different about Herman Wells?
Well, I've known you, Warren, and Jason, and Cliff, and Keith Stahl for a long time. I've known you almost since you started practicing.
Yep.
I've known Jason and Cliff for about a decade. I've known Keith Stahl for 15 years. We used to tailgate together for the Bucks. So coming here to start the disability practice here, I come to work with friends every day. And, trust me, I get tired of seeing his face sometimes. But still, the other guys are all right.
Yeah.
No, but you just come to work. And everybody's here to help. There is no, I got a backstab to get ahead and this and that. I had a trial coming up that was supposed to take place, actually a week from today. And you and Keith and Jason all called me up independently and said, hey, listen, if you want to run through your opening arguments, your closing statements, if you want to do this, give me a call. We'll meet up. I'll help you. And you all were there for me. You have a trial coming up with Cliff. You know that you can call me at any time and say, hey, Bill, let's, even after work, let's go meet up and I want to run through a couple things with you. And
yeah, you're going to get those calls.
Yeah, and then we'll do it because that's how we're a trial first firm, which I love. And in order to do that, you got to be ready to go out and do the work, which we all are. But then it's great when the people that are involved in the case are as just invested as you are. And that's what I love about this place.
Yes. What is the attitude and work ethic of the staff here? Not just the attorneys, but in general, the staff as a whole here at Herman Wells.
It is different from anywhere I've been. We have a lot of people that work remote here, attorneys and staff, and usually that causes problems. That's just the way it is. But at this firm, no problems. My paralegal is Maria. We work well together. Maria is newer to the firm. We're going to do a video with her. And everybody's just eager to learn and eager to help. And when she's out sick or on vacation, I can call Reggie. I can call Jessica. I can call Dara and say, listen, I really need this to happen. And they get it done. There's no, you're not my attorney, this and that. They're all hardworking. They're all knowledgeable. And the thing I love about them is none of them are afraid to say, I don't know, but I'll find out. Which, as clients or potential clients, you guys got to realize is that's the best thing that your attorney or your paralegal can say to you is when you ask them a question, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. The reason is they're not guessing and they're not trying to make themselves seem smart, which gets them in trouble and gets you in trouble. So they're always willing to learn and sharpen their saw, which to me is great. The staff here, they do paralegal CLEs. They're part of the Clearwater Bar paralegal section. So this is just not a job for them. They really love helping their clients.
You ready for some lightning round questions?
I am.
Now, in full disclosure, this is your list, so it's not really off the cuff. And you've had a chance to think about it.
But I'm going to tell you, hearing everybody answer,
Yep.
I've changed my answers about 3 or 4 times on a couple of these things.
All right, perfect. Now, you can't use pink as an answer because we just said that with Renzi.
I know.
All right. What is your favorite activity, pastime, or hobby?
It would be hanging out with my family, now that my kids are older. They're in their 20s and college. That and watching my youngest, who plays at Florida A&M, watching him play football on Saturday.
What number is he?
66.
There we go. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
To me, that would have to be mint chocolate chip.
And same follow-up question that you give everyone else for the answer: green or white?
I'm gonna go white.
Just to be different?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie of all times? It is a tie between The Last of the Mohicans and Braveheart.
Best sitcom of all time?
I'm gonna have to say Frasier, the original Frasier. To me, that is one of the most intelligent shows ever written.
But not the new one?
The new one's finding its legs.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke all day.
Starbucks or Dunkin'?
I'm a Dunkin' person. Not a big coffee drinker, but if I had to choose, it's Dunkin'.
Right. Are people that sit directly on the beach, on the sand, without a towel normal, or do they need help?
They need help. My wife does that. She'll come right out of the water, wet, and just sit on the sugar sand, and I literally have to hold down the vomit in my mouth. I can't do it. Now, folks, I've grown up in Pinellas County. We lived on the water, so we went fishing in boats and the whole 9 yards. I've grown up in a tiki lifestyle. When I go to the beach, I have my hat, my chair, and I'm elevated off the sand unless I'm in the water. I just can't do it.
Yep, no, same way. Same way. Ketchup on eggs or no?
Oh, no.
Hot sauce?
No.
Thin or thick crust pizza?
Thin, crispy.
Do you like candy corn?
No.
Early bird or night owl?
I'm going to steal Reggie's line. It really, as I get older, it depends on the day. On the weekends, let's go. I'm ready. On the weekdays, I like to get up and get my day going. I feel that working, I am more productive at 5:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning than 6:30 to 10. But on the weekends, I like to get out and get after
it. Chicken wing or drummy?
I like the drummy.
Brownies, corner or in the middle?
Corner.
Death row meal and dessert?
My death row meal would have to be a really, really nice steak. Cooked just under medium rare. Not rare, but just that perfect medium rare with a really nice baked potato, and then a white chocolate chip macadamia nut cookie.
All right. Desert Island album?
Pearl Jam's Greatest Hits.
It's a good one. Person either alive or from history that you'd want to sit down with and have a beer with?
I've really been thinking about that because as we get more into this PC culture, historical figures are kind of problematic if you put them in today's focus. But I would just want to sit down and have a conversation with, General Patton, just because you're going to hear about everything in his mind without a filter. And I think that would just be so awesome.
That is a first. All right. First celebrity crush.
Kathleen Bach from the Dukes of Hazzards.
Daisy Duke.
The original Daisy Duke.
The artist or group who is no longer touring that you never saw in concert but wish you did.
Whitney Houston.
Kind of knew that was coming.
I know I don't look like a Whitney guy. I'm a big Whitney guy.
Favorite city in the world other than this one?
I gotta think about it, but the one place that I think that I really love, and I know this is not going to be a popular thing, but to me, Tallahassee, Florida has so many, it's just so special to me. I went to school there. My daughter goes there now. My son plays football up there. It is just, I just love the town, love the vibe. So mine right now would be Tallahassee because I get to go see my kids.
All right. Would you rather be able to speak every language or talk to animals, with the caveat that language doesn't impute to animals?
I would say speak every language, but that answer changes whenever my Great Dane Coonhound mix is barking at the wind for no reason. I just want to say, what in the heck are you barking at? But I would have to say every language.
Awesome. Well, Bill, tell them again, what do you do here at Herman Wells? What is your specialty and why should they call you?
Well, I'm Bill Demas. I'm the disability attorney here, but I do more than disability. It's life insurance, it's accidental death and dismemberment. Basically, if you have a problem that deals with an insurance policy and you're not getting the benefits you think you deserve under that insurance policy, you can call me. There's a great chance that I handle it or somebody in the office handles it. You can call me at 727-821-3195, or you can look us up at hermanwells.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Bill. And we'll talk to you on the next one.
See you guys.
Have a good one.